You're collaborating with the UN, but of course you've collaborated with so many of the best musicians out there. I want to share some of them with you and see if you'll share with us what it was like, maybe in just one word or two. I know you mentioned Without You, working with Usher on that. So let's start with Usher. One or two words about Usher, working with him.
Well, it's been amazing. Obviously, he's like one of the most amazing singer, and like his voice is really like silk. And
so what's he like? Two words. I know I'm making it difficult.
It's hard. Like, I thought he was like a genuine good person, you know, and an amazing singer. You have to make it really that short.
I love it. Rihanna, what comes to mind when you see Rihanna? Working with her.
She's just, I think she's the best.
I think let's just leave it at that. She is the best. How about Avicii?
Avicii, you know, is really from my scene, because when I work with those people, I'm trying to bring them into my world, which is more like electronic. Is really from my scene, and he's younger, and I think he's amazingly talented. I'm very happy that we made one record together, and we made another one. Hopefully that we're gonna finish soon. We started it, and by the way, if you see me, I get the hook.
Yeah. I love it. I love the song "Wake Me Up." I'm obsessed with it.
Oh yeah, it's
really,
a good track. Strong, and I think, you know, the thing is that there's different movements inside of you know, dance music, EDM, however you want to call it, and it was always very melodic, which I love too. You know, and I think, you know, sounds are very important in our music and production tricks, but I think what will stay are the melodies and the songs, you know. So we both feel like this.
The same universe. All right, we have a couple more. We'll get through them quicker. I don't want to harass you with these, but I'm curious about Madonna, of course.
Yes, Madonna, we had one collaboration a long time ago. I think it's the first time, because I've really worked with everyone, and it was the first time I was so impressed. Why? Because when I was 17, I was going to clubs. She was like the queen of the queen of the queen, and to meet her, you know, when you meet your teenage idols, it's like, I was like, oh my God, I just had lunch with Madonna, you know, like really like when I left, I was like, yeah.
I know the feeling, although it's never happened yet with Madonna, although this is kind of like that. All right, Nicki Minaj, how about Nicki Minaj?
Yeah, amazing. Like, it's funny because like, I heard her rap songs and I fell in love with her voice. I didn't even know how she looked. Okay, and I was like, who's that girl? Who's that girl? And then when I saw when I went to see her video, I'm like, oh my God, she looks amazing. And you know, usually I never call artists. It's always artists that are calling me. And this time I was like chasing her.
Of course.
But that was before she was so
big,
famous in pop music and all of this. And when we met, I was like, oh, I'd like you to sing. You know, and because she was like an amazing rapper, but she was not singing yet.
That was kind of the first time that she really came out.
I think so.
Yeah, I think. I mean, at least
turned me on. Yeah. And we went to the studio. It went amazing. And then she like.
Well, now she's turning
not
the whole
thanks
world
to
on.
me. Not thanks to
Not
me.
thanks
You
to
know,
you.
but you know, I'm happy because she deserves it. She's really special.
It's a raw talent, I think, Nicki Minaj. A raw talent. Speaking of raw talent, Lady Gaga.
Yes. Yes, amazing. I mean, obviously, you know, so I've one record.
She's similar to Madonna?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know her that well. I met her only once, but I think she's one of the most iconic artists we have on the planet, you know. So I was very honored to be part of her last album. It's wonderful.
And speaking of icons, in his own right, Snoop Doggy Dogg, I guess Snoop Dogg now.
Yes.
What was that like?
It was amazing. It was funny because I was at the record company and they had that record sweat and actually they didn't work it in the US in the same way that in the rest of the world. And when I heard the record, they were like, do you have any idea for this record? And I'm like, oh my God, yes. But it was like an urban record. But I was hearing it from the scratch as a dance record. I'm like, yes, I do have an idea. This is gonna be a #1. And I called him, and I'm like, man, we got a #1. It's like, really? Like, what do you mean? Trust me, we have a #1 record. And I think the US were still a little nervous about putting, at that time, a hip hop artist on a dance record. But we put it out everywhere else, in the world. It was #1 in 14 countries.
Oh, I know.
So, and it was absolutely huge. And then we spoke, and he was like, "Man, you were right. You were right." And it's been wonderful to work on.
That's amazing. And the last one, Kelly Rowland, of course. The reason we want to choose her is because your song with her was a huge hit. And I want to ask you, what actually does happen when love takes over?
No, but listen, that story is really crazy because, all right, she's actually probably the first inspiration that drove me into that combination between urban and dance music, because I was playing the beat of When Love Takes Over as an instrumental in a club in Cannes, and she was there. And she came to see me asking, like, what is that record? I love it. And I said, well, it's just like a beat Ahmed. And she asked me, can we collaborate on this? So imagine she actually had that vision like really, really early. And we met When Love Takes Over. And on the same week, will.i.am called me to work with the Black Eyed Peas, and we met I Got a Feeling. Mm-hmm. So actually on the same months, it was like When Love Takes Over, I Got a Feeling, and Sexy Bitch. So it was like, and then from that, everything exploded.
Took over the world.